Well, good evening and welcome again to the Leadership Edge podcast. I'm your host, Dr. P. Ronald Wilder. This podcast is dedicated to talking leadership, all things leadership. It's my desire as a leadership podcaster to give you the edge you need in your leadership. So thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Now, before we get started in our leadership discussion tonight, our talk, I want you to hit the share and the like button. You're watching on Facebook. Share number one so that people in your sphere of influence on your tributary can have access to it, and you can help us spread far and wide. So hit the share button. If you have not liked, please hit the like button and follow BGTV Studios on Facebook. Also, stop by the BGTV Studios YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. We want to raise the level of our subscribers, but at the same time, it gives you on YouTube, you can have access to all of the videos of podcasts. There are some great podcasters on this platform, guys and young ladies that I respect and care deeply in my heart for, who give great content. So you want to listen to them. So please go ahead and subscribe, and you'll have access to that. Now, also, while we are podcasting, go ahead, want you to comment. That's the way of letting us know that you're hearing us, and some things we're saying are blessing you, they're helping you, they're impacting you. So hit the comments button, and also let us know where you're watching from so we can see how vast and far our reach is, okay? All right. Well, thank you there. Well, we're going to continue our fireside chat. You know, last week we began a fireside chat. I just began to sit down and just talk to you out of my heart about leadership. I guess we call it leadership. So today will be leadership part 2. We were talking about what is leadership. And we talked about leadership, simply put, is the ability to inspire and influence others toward the leader's goal. So leadership involves inspiration and involves influence, moving people toward the leader's goal. We talked about leadership being involved. It's about establishing vision, where we're going, how we're going to get there, what's the direction we're going to take to get there, setting directions, and mapping out where we need to go and how we need to win as a team, as a church, or as an organization. Now, leadership also involves strategic thinking and focus to accomplish these objectives. See, if you're not thinking strategically, it's kind of like chess. I play chess and I play checkers. I'm not extremely good at either one, okay? But here's what I know about the games. Checkers is a different game than chess. Chess, you're trying to eliminate all of the opponent's chips, the red and the black. You're jumping into all this here. In chess, you're trying to capture the king. The thing about chess is this. When you're playing chess, you always, if you're playing right and good, you're always 3 or 4 moves ahead of where you are. So it means when I make a move here, I made that move based upon what I'm going to do in 3 or 4 more moves based upon what he do. You always, if you playing chess and you are only in the moment where you move into, you've lost the game already. You've totally lost the game. If you're just here at this move and you're not 3 or 4 moves up the road, you've lost and just don't know it. The same as in leadership. The good leaders are playing chess while the ineffective and bad leaders are playing checkers. As a leader, if you are where the company, I just use the church. I'm a pastor. Let's use church. As a pastor and the leader of the church, I am never where the church is. I am always 3 or 4 years up the road in my thinking process. Where we are now, I was here, let's say it's 25. Where we are now, I was here in 2022. We just there. I'm now in 2028. You have to be ahead of the game like that. That's just strategic thinking, forward thinking. A leader has to be forward thinking. Okay, this is how you have to think. You can't be one move at a time, and that's all far as you done thought. You hadn't thought about what's going to happen. You done missed the ball game. Leadership is about being ahead, forward thinking. I call that foresight. Okay, there are 3 kind of sights a leader must have. A leader must have insight. Okay, that means he see into what's happening right now. He must have hindsight. That means he's able to look back, see what happened, learn from what happened, adjust so that what happened there won't happen again. Then a leader must have foresight. He must see ahead, chart the course coming, see over the horizon, and be prepared for what's coming and where you're going. Hindsight, insight, foresight. Somebody write those down. That's good information for you. A leader must have hindsight, insight, hindsight past, insight present, foresight future. What a leader has to have. Unfortunately, some leaders only have insight, and that's not real good. They should have hindsight because you're able to look back, but they don't even profit from from history. It's almost like the old saying, those who do not learn from history are condemned to repeat history. And that's what they do, repeat the failures. Hindsight, insight, foresight. That's what a leader must have. So in short, people, leadership is nothing more than the ability to lead. Leadership is nothing more than the ability to lead. Now, another component of leadership, and we start talking about this on last week, is that leadership is about making decisions. It's all about making decisions. It's about making decisions. You have to make decisions. Here's the key. The higher you go in leadership, guess what? The greater the decisions you have to make. The greater they are. I know people that say, well, I don't like to make decisions. If you don't like to make decisions, then guess what? You should never, ever be in leadership. Because that's what leadership is. That's what leadership is. Let's go to sports. Give me a coach. He on the sidelines. It's in the 4th quarter. Let's say it's football. 4th and 1. Game on the line. He got to decide. Do I go for it or do I kick it? The field goal. Got to make that decision. And that's, and that's the part of leadership that a leader cannot delegate. Now, one thing about leadership is delegating. A leader should delegate things that he can delegate. But there are some things he cannot delegate. Some things he cannot delegate. And there are some decisions you can't delegate. You got to make them. In the family, it's the father. Children disagree. The wife disagree. Sometimes everybody disagree. But guess what? You got to make that decision. It's your call. If it's a pastor, you got to make a decision. And you know that maybe your elders disagree. The deacons question it. But guess what? In your mind, you know you have heard from God. You got to make that decision. I was talking to someone recently, just a few days ago, and they were in a leadership role in a certain situation, and they were upset because they found out that the people were questioning their ability to lead, questioning their decisions. They were questioning them. And even questioning their ability to lead. This individual felt betrayed because these people were probably a part of her team, would smile in their face and talk behind their back. And specifically one individual who's seen to be more the ringleader of this questioning and, I guess, revolution against the leadership. And this individual asked me the question, talking, what do? I want to call him and give him my mind. I said, let me tell you two things. Number one, you're a leader. You don't stoop down to that level to call someone to give them a piece of your mind about a leadership decision you're making that's working. Leaders always have their decisions questioned and second guessed. That's a part of the burden of leadership. I'm looking in the camera. You need to hear that. It's like a parent. Your kids think you're way out of line. You're old fogey. You're out of touch. You making decisions and they mad and storming their room and hey, that's part of leadership. You know what's best for them. They don't know. They don't understand. They will one day when they get children of their own. They will understand, but they don't understand. But you don't let that mess you up and you want to get them a piece of your mind. That's the burden of leadership. Yes, they think you wrong. Yes, they think you off. That's part of it. You think as a pastor, I think everybody in Covenant Church agree with every decision I make? I am not that naive. I got some good people. I got loyal people. I got people that follow me. I got people that love me to life. And they'll follow me. And they follow me sometimes when they disagree with me. But they know my heart. They follow me because they know my heart and they know my integrity. That if I'm doing it, I believe it's the right thing to do. Okay? But I know that they're second guessing. I know sometimes there's whispering behind the scene. I know that. That's leadership. Sometimes I know who's doing it. But you don't lose sleep over it. So I told this individual, you don't lose sleep over that. That's the burden of leadership. If you can't stand your decisions to be questioned, analyzed, second guessed, then you don't need to be in leadership. That's number one. Number two, as a leader, never go to war where there are no spoils. I said, what are you going to gain from giving this person a piece of your mind? What are you going to gain? What spoils are you going to be able to carry to victory? Nothing. The only thing you're going to gain is you have stooped down to their level. You have left your high, lofty leadership post. So stoop down to their level. Never, leaders, listen to me. Never go to battle where there are no spoils. If there's nothing to be gained, if there's nothing to profit from it, if coming out the battle you ain't got nothing to show victory, then don't go to war. Never, read my lips, write them down. Never go to war. That's 4 where there are no spoils. Remember those 9 words. Never go to war where there are no spoils. In the story. Are you listening to me? All right. Now, so leadership's about making decisions. You don't want to make a decision? You got to make policy decisions. Now, one of the hardest leadership decisions we have to make is we have to make people decisions. Now, that one is not easy. I'm a leader. I teach leadership. I do this, been doing this. Some people say I'm pretty good. Some people think I'm the best. But I'll tell you, this one is not easy. When you have to make people decisions. When you have to determine that this person is not right for the job and I need to remove them, or I need to do this. Sometimes those decisions are necessary. It's go with the territory. The decisions are not popular. People decision. Being a sports guy, I'm a big college football fan like everybody else. Talked about that last week right here in the middle of Alabama country. But I actually grew up in South Carolina. So that means that I'm either a Clemson Tiger fan or a South Carolina Gamecock fan. Being from South Carolina, I like both of them. But my allegiance is to Clemson. I'm a Clemson Tiger fan. Been a Tiger fan all my life for the most part. Like I said, I don't dislike South Carolina. I pull for them unless they play in the Tigers. Then, I have to put on my orange and purple. All right. That's in football. Now in basketball, I'm a South Carolina Gamecock fan. Dawn Staley, that's my girl. Yes, it is. I love Dawn and what she has built there in South Carolina. And I want to meet Dawn. I never met her. I want to have a conversation. I want to meet her and have a conversation with her. I want to give her my book. So if any of y'all got connection with Dawn Staley, hook me up. Okay? All right. Clemson fan. Hey, I've met Coach Dabo. Love Coach Dabo. Amen. Been down there, sit in his office, talk with him. He has my book. Amen. And going to a Clemson game in a few weeks. So anyway, I'm a Clemson fan. After Clemson won the national championship, I think the first national championship when they beat Alabama on the last second, Deshaun Watson was quarterback. After Deshaun Watson quarterback, the next guy waiting in the wings was a guy named Kelly Bryant. Good guy, dual threat quarterback, very talented. The next year they didn't win the title, but they had a good season. But they faltered out. The following year, Kelly Bryant was back there again as quarterback, but they had brought in a top quarterback, one of the top recruiting quarterbacks in the country, a guy named Trevor Lawrence. About 4 games into the season, I think it was 4. This is Kelly Bryant's senior season. But Coach Dabo saw something that he felt, he looked at it and saw that there's something missing. I don't think we can win the national championship with Kelly at quarterback. He loved Kelly. He loved him. But he realized I got to make a very important people decision. It's not going to be popular. It's going to be life-changing and game-changing. But remember what I always told you, leaders know. He made the switch and put Trevor Lawrence, a rookie, a freshman, in at quarterback and made Kelly Bryant the backup. When he made the call initially, I, being the big Clemson fan I am, I thought it was the wrong call. I disagreed with it. But as it turns out, as a freshman, Trevor Lawrence led Clemson on down the road to an undefeated season. They beat Alabama in the national championship game, I think 44-16 that year. They beat them pretty bad. That would have never happened if Dabo doesn't make, after game 3 or 4, that people decision at quarterback. That, my friend, is leadership. And that leadership call took guts. There are some leadership decisions that takes an awful lot of guts to make. Because you make decisions that, if it go right, you're hailed as a hero. But if it go wrong, it could cost you your job. It could cost you your career. You got everything on the line there. Everything. But that's leadership. That's the burden of leadership that the general populace never see. The decisions a leader has to make and the processes he or she goes through to make those decisions. It's a tough decision. Now, I've seen leaders who are afraid to make that decision. They put the decision off. They evade the decision. Matter of fact, my jump drive here, I'm going to talk to you about this in a little while, but I have a teaching called When Leaders Fail to Lead. And I talk about when leaders don't lead and when they don't make the decisions that need to be made. Delaying and evading a leadership decision that needs to be made is not an evasion. It is a failure to lead. It is no decision. A bad decision is better than no decision. A bad decision is better than no decision. Okay? Leaders sometimes fail to lead. You want to get that. Leaders sometimes fail to lead because they don't want to make the decision. They just leave it out there and hope it all works itself out. It's not going to happen. Leadership is leading. Leadership is making the tough calls. Leadership is having the courage to make the call and then stand by your call. It's leadership. Why the fuss? Because that's what leaders have to do. That's the burden they carry. That's the burden of leadership. Knowing that my decision can propel us to greatness or spiral us to mediocrity. One of the two. But leaders have to make decisions. Making decisions is the crux of leadership. Don't evade your responsibility. Make the decision. Make the call. Wow. Listen, my time is up. We can talk about this on and on and on, okay? But my time is up. So we'll pick up here in our next podcast. Fireside Chat, Leadership, Part 2. Now listen, don't forget to visit my website, www.pronaldwilder.com. Again, there you'll find my book, The ABCs of Leadership. As a matter of fact, there's a whole chapter on D. I talk about decisions, leaders' decisions, the decision they have to make. So, hey, get that, and you'll get that chapter. And so, amen, it's there on the website, www.pronaldwilder.com. Also on the website, go to my shop page, and it's there. You'll find all my leadership teachings. You'll find when leaders fail to lead, what I talked about, the Maximus Principle. You'll find the 7 series. You can find so much. It's about 30 leadership teachings there. You can download them, have them on your device, each individually priced. They're all the same, but they're individually priced. But the best buy, if you were to buy every individual, I think, that I have on the website, it'd be about $300. But for $125, you can get the bundle package here. Everything on the website is on here. That's about 1/3. You can save that much. So go ahead, get the bundle package. Do it on the website. All right, let's go. Next thing. I want to admonish you and plead to you and not to be a supporter of BGTV Studios. I believe in this platform. I have a podcast here. I support BGTV Studios. Me and my wife, we give regularly into BGTV Studios. This is a tremendous platform, but it's strictly faith-driven. We don't have any corporate sponsors. We don't have any grants. It's what the people who are blessed by it give toward it. So I want to admonish you to do that. The ways to give are going to pop on the screen. They're there now. There's the website. There's Venmo. There's Cash App. Take your phone, scan one of those, give to those, and you can give a one-time gift, give a good large gift, or become a monthly partner. Give something every month. We'll appreciate that. This is good ground. There are great podcasters here, great content here, and so please be a supporter. I believe in BGTV Studios, and I believe you do too. And I'm asking you, my partners and friends, to be a supporter of BGTV Studios. We don't get the podcast, don't get anything from this. We don't share in it. It's strictly everything you give goes to BGTV Studios. Listen, my time is up. Got to go. P. Ronald Wilder reminding you two things. Leadership matters and leaders lead. God bless you. I'll see you on next Tuesday.